Hello, Jeff and Jacob. Thank you for sending me this booster for 220 SE and for Concours restoration. And you also sent a spare. Well, there really wasn't much I could use out of your box in terms of your booster. The spare is for a 190 SL, and so that doesn't do any good. The only thing I could use off of it was the air filter assembly, because the other filter assembly was no good. It's completely eaten away, so that's garbage. This is the 220 SE booster that you sent me, and as I mentioned to you, this fitting is stuck in here, and the only way to get out is going to be to destroy the fitting. And it just wasn't, the cover, this face plate was just not worth the effort, I didn't think. So I had another face plate, and then the vacuum can is so rusted, it would never be Concours quality on the outside and on the inside. You can see how pitted it is. This is just not worth even using. And then taking the booster apart, this thing was stuck in there. This is the piston that goes inside the slave cylinder, so that was useless. And this is what the vacuum shaft looks like, so pitted. So that's as it transitions from vacuum to hydraulic, it was going to leak. So I punched it out of its holder that screws into the diaphragm, and made a new shaft out of chrome moly. No, it's 314 stainless, I think. Anyway, so I made you a new shaft that goes inside here. So this is a faceplate that I had in stock because it's much better than yours in terms of Concours. And this is another vacuum can that I had in stock, and it's Concours now. And then this is the air filter that was salvageable. That's about the only thing. And then the slave cylinder, which was sleeved, got that sent out, had a stainless steel sleeve in it because yours was so badly pitted, as you can imagine. And I had to pound this thing out. You can see where I pounded on it to get it out, and it's just nothing usable about it at all. So, and then here's some of the parts that came off of the big booster, and I give you an idea of the quality of the quantity and amount of rust. Let's see, the only other thing that was salvageable was the big spring that's in here. So I'm sending all this stuff back to you because there's nothing on there that I need, or that's, in my opinion, that's really usable. Well, this faceplate, I don't know if that's usable or not. Also, something else, there were no J-hooks that came with the booster, so I supplied J-hooks. Now then, let's see. Also, the brake light switch was shot, so I got you a new brake light switch. We're going to test that right now with our VOM, and you can see the brake light switch activate up here. Around 150 psi, give or take. So you just hear that squealing. And let's see. Well, looks like we activated around 50 psi. Yep. So that's fine. So we know we got a good brake light switch. Now then, let's see, just a brief overview. We got the input right here, output, and I rebuilt your vacuum check valve. This air filter has been completely rebuilt with new Teflon seals inside. New diaphragm in here, new vacuum diaphragm in here, which it looks like this one, but you can see this one's shot, so that's your new vacuum diaphragm. New hose, connector hose right there. This is a test port, and this test port connects to this hose right here, goes up to this gauge, and this is as the booster is activated, this gauge is going to go to 0. Both gauges are going to when the vacuum pump is on, both gauges are going to go show the vacuum is produced by this machine. And as the booster is activated, this one's going to go to 0. And you can use this as a test port. Put your own vacuum gauge on it when you are testing the booster if you want to do that. Next, let's see, we've got to prove that this booster is inert without any vacuum to it. The fluid goes in, fluid comes out, booster's inert. So if you lose vacuum or the engine, you do not lose braking. So I'm going to show you that by activating the booster. And so what happens here, I forgot to mention. Okay, this is your input gauges. Both of these are tied together and go up and read input pressure as supplied by the master cylinder on the machine, which is leaking a little bit, so you'll see this one bleed down a little bit. Output, both gauges are tied together, and this one's going to go up and max out, and this is going to read final output pressure. Now then, without vacuum, all these numbers should be the same, because its input's the same as output, or output's the same as input. So 350, 350, 350. Now then, the vacuum. A good vacuum. The booster is moving around on the machine here. This thing's a beast. 350 in. 1200 out. Try and use everything at one time. Booster's falling over. There you go. So, this is a beast of a booster. It's got a 350, 350, 700. I think this is almost a 3-to-1 boost ratio. Now, while we're under pressure, put under pressure again. It's a 60-year-old test machine, so it gets a little ornery. What we're looking for is leaks. No leak from the brake light switch. There's a seal right here, down inside here. There's no leaks right here. My test fitting's leaking a little bit, but that's normal. Now then, when tightening up this fitting going on here, I recommend you put a wrench right here to stabilize, as you really crank down on this fitting here to make sure it's fluid tight, because this jam nut is not designed to hold this slave cylinder in place when you're really tightening down here. Trying to think. This bleed screw on the slave cylinder nose is not necessary to be used. Just leave it alone. Do all your bleeding here. Bleed this one first. Do a lap around the car and bleed this one last. And you may need to do 2 or 3 times around the car to get it completely bled. But I've got a good booster for you. Thanks for sending it.